Hell is real, and people do go there for their sins. Saint John Bosco received a very timely and traumatic vision of hell, and he's not the only one to have received a vision of this kind. Many church mystics have had visions of hell, purgatory, and heaven. Even 3 shepherd children in Fatima had a vision in which Mary allowed them to see hell. Ever want to know what could send you there? Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to America Needs Fatima. I am 𝗥𝗿𝗟𝗶𝗰𝗄. Be sure to hit subscribe and click the notification bell to never miss out on another story of Mary. Now let's talk about a saint who also saw and witnessed hell. Saint John Bosco. Saint John Bosco, also known as Don Bosco, was a priest living in Italy in the early 1800s and came to have a vocation for youth and their education and formation. He founded a branch of the Salesian Order devoted to St. Francis de Sales called the Society of St. Francis de Sales, but now known as the Salesians of Don Bosco. His order devoted itself to the poor and the education of boys to the priesthood or another vocation. Some of these boys had a rough start of life, since their financial situation wasn't that great, but it was through Don Bosco's disciplinary preventative system based on the values of reason, religion, and loving kindness that Don Bosco students learned how to walk the path of holiness and avoid the things that lead us to serve the devil and not of God. One of his students, named Dominic, was eventually canonized, Saint Dominic Savio. Then, one evening, Bosco went to bed and started having a dream that would make a lasting impression on him as he has his vision of hell. He and an angel found themselves at the bottom of a precipice with a blackened valley below, with a door that read, "Where there is no redemption," with some heat coming from that door. When they saw young people, it was in fact the boys he was teaching with their sins written on the brow plummet into the chasm due to bad companions, wicked books, and perverse habits. He wondered, how can I prevent this from happening? Now, what he saw were the souls of the living boys, but what would occur if they died right now in their sinfulness? Are you ready to meet your judgment right now? Then he read another inscription with "The impious, wicked will go into the eternal fire," in which a cavern with fire filled with it. The angel spoke of the eternal ruin of young men and women and the sins against purity, as sins of impurity send more people to hell, according to Our Lady, than any other sin. It's necessary that we heed that warning. Even now, always confess. Don't hold one of your sins back. If you do, confess it at the earliest onset. So confess and do not deceive the priest in the confessional. The angel showed him another group of young men from this oratory, all of which he knew. Then the angel said, "Preach everywhere against immodesty." We see it today. And the angel and him spoke at great length on how to make a good confession and to say, change your life. then because he saw the eternal torment of those in hell, it is necessary that even Don Bosco experiences a bit of hell. The angel seized his hand and touched it to the outer wall, the last one. St. Bosco emitted a scream. When the vision ceased, he had a really swollen and red hand. Yours would be too if you touched something that hot. His vision was so realistic that he had to experience that sort of pain. Now, let's shift to the other main vision of hell that Our Lady showed at Fatima. Now, Fatima is a town in Portugal, and in 1917, in which 3 shepherd children, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta, came to the 𝗀𝗵𝗿 𝗟 and saw Our Lady on May 13th, though they didn't know who she really was at that time. She said to come back the 13th of every month from May to October, and the same time, noon, she would talk to them. She told them that she was from heaven, and her message from the onset was to pray the rosary for peace in the world. Then July's apparition occurred. And this is when Mary showed 3 things, but this vision of hell disturbed them to never want to do anything to be sent there. Let's see what you think of it. Sister Lucia tells about this first part of the vision of Our Lady, in which she showed hell, which seemed to be under the earth with a huge sea of fire. Demons of all sorts were in this fire, like see-through embers. There were yells of pain and despair, which scared these children to the point they shook in fear. Now the demons were horrifying and looked like unknown animals, black and transparent. Now, the vision lasts but a moment, but the children were so grateful to Mary for promising heaven, because they would be dead of fear and terror to go there. That is Fatima's hell. We owe it to our own souls to never put ourselves in a place where we are condemned to go to hell. Confession is our seal upon which we receive a renewed grace and in turn right our relationship to God. More on that in a future video. Now I want to talk about a campaign of roses America Needs Fatima is running right now that you can take a part in. We will be traveling to Mexico in February, and on the feast day of Saints Francisco and Jacinta of Fatima on February the 20th, we will make a huge offering of roses to Our Lady of Guadalupe in reparation for the sins of abortion in the United States, beseeching her for the end of this atrocity. Click in the link below in the description and join the rose offering and send your own rose to Our Lady of Guadalupe. I have. Write your personal intentions, which we will print and take to offer to Our Lady of Guadalupe. We will also light in your name 48 votive candles in reparation for each year of the legalization of abortion since Roe v. Wade in 1973. The link is below in the description box, and I urge you to take action now. May God bless you, and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. See you next time.